Welcome back. My name's Steve and thank you for joining me on my photography journey. Today I want to talk about something that I mentioned briefly in a recent video. When I went to Sheffield Park, the National Trust place, and I took lots of pictures with my Nikon Z30 and the 12-28mm power zoom lens. I said that the one thing that was missing was a more telephoto lens, and I talked about my 24-200 and how that would have been more help. Well, I have something here today which has just arrived in the post, and it's something that I think will help even more, and this will also help me on my cruise to the Norwegian fjords, which I'm going on in about a month's time. So, what is it? It's a new lens, so let's have a look. Let's open this one up. It's nicely packaged with bubble wrap in there. Move that one out of the way. And as you can see, this is the Nikon Z mount NIKKOR Z 180-600mm F5.3-6.3 VR. This is the 180-600 lens. It's one that I've looked at for a long time now, and finally saved up my pennies, saw it at the photography show a few weeks back, and I tried it out there. I played with it on a Z9 and a Z8, tried different settings and things like that, and realized this was what I wanted. So I saved up my pennies for it, and here we go. Let's open it up. The first thing it says on the top here is, do not accept if this seal is broken. Seal doesn't want to be broken. There we go. Right. Let's lay this down again. Oops. So, what do we have in here? We have a box, which has got inside of it. This is a very big lens hood. And then we also have, what's this? The pochette. Whoa. Basically a towel. I think this is for keeping the lens in, drying it, that kind of thing. It's quite useful. Huge, of course. Let me put those on the floor. And then we have got our user manual. So in here we have the lens itself, and it's enormous. This is the lens. This is the 180-600mm internal zoom. So nothing changes when you twist the zoom ring. Everything's all internal. And we have got a massive lens element on the front there. And like I said, this is the NIKKOR Z 180-600mm f5.6-6.3 VR, and it's got a 95mm thread on the end of it. So I'm going to need to buy some new ND filters if I want to use any of them with this. But let's have a look at the lens. So we've got our enormous lens cap, which fits on nicely. We've got just a grip at the end here. We've got lens function buttons all the way around. So they all do the same thing, I believe, but you can just use whichever one of those that you want to. Then we've got our zoom ring. So from 180 to 600 is only that small amount of a twist. So not very far at all to go all the way from 180 to 600. Then you've got another control ring, and this is normally set as standard to focus. So when you start to twist it, it will come off of any autofocus that you've got and go on to manual focus. However, that can be really annoying. So what I generally set it to is aperture, so that I can change my aperture just by twisting this ring rather than by having to go into the camera and change it in there. However, on my 24-200mm lens, this control ring is really loose, and I can easily knock it and change my aperture completely. And I saw that quite a few times when I was at my second National Trust visit recently. We'll see what it's like on this lens. I'll obviously take this out and do a bit more testing with it and give it a proper review before I go away to the Norwegian fjords. But for now, that's what I'll set it to. That will be my aperture control. Then we've got our, what's this? My lens collar. So this is what I can use to attach it to a tripod, and it just, by the looks of it, just undoes at the side here. You can rotate it round and it should just be able to come off as well, which I think if you undo it completely, yeah, so you can undo it completely and take that off completely. So if you don't want to have that on there, then that removes a bit of weight and you can just handhold the lens without using it with a tripod collar. There's no kind of locking mechanism or anything for it. You've got a line and a dot to match up to make sure it's in the right place. And that looks roughly right. And then at the back here, underneath this rashing, which we'll just take off, we have, get that off my fingers, we have a automatic to manual focusing switch and a full to infinity to 6 meters distance focus. And that's it on there. So that's the lens. And here are those control buttons on the side as well. And in this view as well, you can see the tripod foot and collar on there. And that's the other side to it. So this will fit on both my Z5 and my Z30. Remember, when you are putting it onto something like a Z30 where you have got a APS-C size sensor DX crop factor, you times the focal length by 1.5 to give you the equivalent to a 35mm or full frame camera. So this would be 270 to 900mm. That's quite a lot. So I'm looking forward to testing it out on both cameras to see what I get. So let's just have a look at some of the specs of this lens. So on the Nikon website, it's listed as £1,799, including VAT and free shipping. And like I said, I managed to get a good deal on it. So mine was quite a bit cheaper than that, actually. The size doesn't do it justice, really. I think when you see it in real life, it's significantly bigger and heavier than you would expect. So it's apparently lightweight, 5.5 stop VR, which is vibration reduction. It's got fluorine coating on the lens to protect it a bit more, and it's also compatible with the teleconverters. So the Nikon have a 1.4 and a 2 times teleconverter, so we can make it into a nearly 900 and a 1200mm lens if you really want to. So it's a Z mount lens for the FX format, and like I said, 180 to 600mm focal length with an aperture of 5.6 to 6.3. There's 25 elements in the lens in 17 groups, and it's, like I said, it's all internal focusing, so that means that the lens doesn't get bigger as you use it. And then one thing to keep in mind is the minimum focus distance. So when you're at the 180mm zoom position, it's 1.3 meters. That's how far something needs to be away before you can focus on it. And at the 600mm zoom position, it's 2.4 meters. So quite a long way away from you. But at 600mm, then, I mean, that's, why would you be taking a picture of something closer than 2.4 meters with that lens? So it's got vibration reduction. There's 9 diaphragm blades, so the bokeh that will be created in the background of any blurring will be grounded, generally speaking. And the difference at 180mm, the maximum aperture is 5.6. At 600, it's 6.3. So not a huge difference between those two. The filter size, like I said, is 95mm, so significantly bigger than the 67mm of any of my other lenses. And It weighs around about 2 kilograms or 4 pounds. The tripod ring does add a bit of weight to it, but I mean, when it's 2 kilograms, those extra few ounces, few grams with that don't really make any difference. So thank you for joining me today. This was just a quick video to introduce you to my new lens and to kind of set the scene for next week's video, where I actually go out and about and take some more pictures with this. Everything's looking good so far. I'm very pleased with the company that I got this from. I actually got a really good deal on this from a company called Grandy's Cameras in the UK, based in Bristol. And the price that they had this for was actually cheaper than a lot of the show deals at the photography and video show when I went and saw the lens there. So I'm glad I didn't buy it on that day, but saved my pennies, thought about it a bit more, and then worked out what I wanted to buy and where I wanted to buy it from. I ordered it the other day and it's arrived today. It looks perfect, and the service has been fantastic as well, so I would highly recommend them. I'll leave a link to them down in the description as well. So thank you for joining me today. Just a quick overview of this lens, and I'm going to take it out now and get some pictures. So let me know in the comments if there's anything that you would particularly want me to talk about with this lens. And other than that, have a great week, and I'll see you again soon on my photography journey. Bye.